Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. I did a flash video yesterday saying that some new taxes on the line were going to destroy the construction industry. Well, there are more than just that kind of tax. There are many taxes coming down the line. They are going to hammer the Scots more than Edward I did. This time, of course, it is not the fault of Westminster. It is entirely the fault of the SNP. It is years of misspending, of mismanagement, and a whole farrago of policies designed by dunderheaded morons who don't know what they're doing. It is a recipe for failure, and that cake is well and truly baked, as now taxes have to rise everywhere in order for them to try and sort out the massive mess that they have made of everything. So we're going to take a little look at what's going to happen now and see the taxes that are coming and see how much worse off people in Scotland are going to be compared to people anywhere else in the United Kingdom. Here goes. So the new taxes SNP ministers are looking to hammer Scots and businesses with in 2024. Now, we've looked at some of these before individually, but we've not looked in the round at all of them. And when you see all the taxes put together, you can see how frightening it is and how devastating this is going to be for the whole of the Scottish economy. There's barely a sector that escapes destructive taxation. So Scotland is already described as the highest tax part of the UK, and even more could be on the horizon, because you've got a woman with an IQ of 86, and there she is, in charge of finances, a woman who quite literally doesn't have a clue. Shona Robertson's recent budget announcement was widely hailed as a disaster, even by people within her own party, it must be said. The Finance Secretary set out her spending plans on December the 19th, with it described as a nightmare before Christmas for Scots. One of her headline policies was to raise taxes for middle earners in an effort to plug her government's financial black hole. A new 45% tax band will be introduced for people earning between £75,000 and £125,000, a move that has sparked concerns over the country's ability to attract talent, and also, it must be said, to retain it. There are people who are mobile enough, they will up sticks, move south, save thousands upon thousands of pounds, and not have to put up with all the BS that's going on. And of course, they're not just going to be saving tax on that part of their income. They're going to be saving tax on the earlier part of the income, everything over £27,000. And of course, with proposals for costs on everything else to increase, they will be significantly better off than people who remain in Scotland. Another blow came from the likes of teachers and NHS staff earning over £43,000, with a pause on the high rate threshold, meaning they will also be hammered. It has led to claims that Scotland is the highest taxed part of the UK, but ministers aren't finished there, because even then, all this extra taxation they're doing there isn't enough to fix their own mess. Buried in the budget document is confirmed the government is looking at even more taxes. We reported this week that among the plans was a supermarket tax. And of course, if you're adding costs to a business, in this case a supermarket, it will have to recoup those costs. And it does so by putting the prices up. Ultimately, and this is what they fail to understand, is companies do not pay tax. They merely collect it from their customers and pass it on to the tax authorities. It is the people that will be paying the supermarket tax. The public health supplement was first enforced in 2012 for a 3-year period. It targets larger retailers if they sell alcohol and tobacco, and raised $95 million when it was first implemented. Concerns have been raised that the cost could be passed on to consumers. What do you mean could be? Absolutely will be. And could even impact on bonuses for hard-working staff. Yes, obviously, put the prices up for everyone and cut the pay of the staff at the supermarkets. What an excellent idea. Government officials say, recognising the importance of sustaining the public finances and public services, we are also committed to exploring the reintroduction of a non-domestic rates public health supplement for large retailers in advance of the next budget. In other words, more taxation for the people of Scotland. As explained, it will be the people paying, not the supermarkets. The document also confirms there will be continued work to explore the infrastructure tax on developers. This was the one I mentioned in the flash video last evening. Because this will be an extra tax on builders. And what will the builders do? They'll pass that cost on to the customers of their houses. And the business safety levy will also tax developers to pay for the removal of dangerous cladding. And this would be the equivalent of the UK government's building safety levy. The government said it will fund the Scottish government's cladding remediation programme to help safeguard homeowners and residents by remediating unsafe cladding that presents a risk to life. Now, I personally think that cost should go on directly to the builders that put the cladding on, if it was builders, or to the councils that insisted the cladding went on, if it was council official guidance. Whoever signed off on it needs to be responsible. This shouldn't be taxed. Working on a cruise ship levy is also continuing, because obviously you don't want to bring tourists into the country to spend their hard-earned on their ill-gotten. You know, hey, let's drive tourists away by charging them more tax to come here. The tourist tax would charge passengers arriving on luxury ships at hotspots like Inverclyde, Leith, Rosyth, Orkney and Shetland. And it's estimated around 800,000 passengers can be affected, and it's been criticised by tourism bosses because it's a terrible idea. The levy was confirmed by Scottish Green Minister Lorna Slater at a party's conference, and therefore the very fact it's coming from Lorna Slater means you know without doubt it's a mad, bad idea, because people coming off those ships go into the areas and spend money. If you're going to start taxing them, fewer will leave the ship. Fewer will bother. I ain't paying that. Bloody hell, sod them. Stay on the ship. You just can't get over. You can't get over the sheer levels of dim that it must be required to be a green MSP. The government is exploring whether the cruise ship tax can be included in the visitor levy bill, which is still at stage 1 in Holyrood. This will give councils the power to charge a fee for overnight stays. Again, let's go and damage the tourism industry. We're already putting licences and things on short-term stays, driving them out of business. Let's go and do this and cause even more damage, because one thing we don't want in Scotland is visitors coming up, staying, spending their money, forcing people to invest and grow their businesses and pay more tax because of the profits will be greater. Oh no, that's a really bad idea, isn't it? Lunacy. I mean, you know, it's absolute moron. I can't think down to their level. I don't understand how they think any of what they're proposing is in any way a good idea. A carbon emissions land tax has been proposed by the John Muir Trust, and this would be a surcharge on land holdings over 1,000 hectares. And while not included in the budget document, plans for a tax on concert tickets have also been approved or proposed by MSPs, meaning music fans can be hit in the pocket if they want to watch their favourite artists. Because again, you want to drive talent out of Scotland. You want to make it harder. You want to increase misery. You want to reduce the opportunity of people to go and actually enjoy themselves. Because poverty and misery is the order of the day with these left-wing Marxist tossers. And they still think that they're being wonderful and brilliant. Tax, tax, tax. That's all they can do. And they think by raising taxes, they're going to make more money. But of course they think that. They're very, very stupid people, of course, and they don't understand how economies work. But on the other hand, if they did understand how an economy worked, they wouldn't have got into the 1.5 billion, 2 billion perhaps, black hole in the first place. So it's rather self-evident that they haven't got a clue, isn't it? Anyway, I shall round off there. We shall come up, finish the video, move on. Lots of stories today. Didn't do too many yesterday because lots of things to do. But today, well, I'll see how many I can get out. But anyway, we'll come up and round off. So there you are. Scotland, already the most taxed part of Britain. And they're going to tax more and more and more. Tax until the pips squeak, as Dennis Healey once put it. Well, I think the pips are already squeaking, and you cannot get blood out of a stone. And I think the upshot is a lot of people will do everything they can to avoid the tax. And I really do believe their tax take will go down and the situation will get far, far worse. But that's what happens when people who don't know what they're doing are given authority and power. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will talk to you later. Bye.